Welcome to the Chris Hatcher Show, presented by Alabama Power. I'm your host, Kevin Blackwell, and of course, each week I'm joined by Samford head football coach Chris Hatcher. This past Saturday was homecoming at Samford University, and the Samford Bulldogs made sure that we sent the fans home happy. We did well in all three phases of the game and won against the Citadel 35-14. Coach, it was a great atmosphere, I thought, for college football on Saturday in an electric stadium. It was also good to have some former football players come back. I know that's always a treat for you. We were able to honor the 1971 team, of course, and the 1991 team. Just talk about the day, just the atmosphere, and a chance to honor those players.
Well, I think you're exactly right, Kevin. It was a beautiful day weather-wise, fall afternoon. Appreciate our fans coming out. The alumni coming out, and our students. Man, they have been outstanding this year, and it's become an event for the, really the first time I've been the coach here. It's become an event for the students, and that's great to see that spirit come out. And I'm excited that we played well for all involved. Of course, having former players there is always nice, especially to see the ones that you personally coach that came back and see, how polished they are. They're all grown up and they're doing well. But I got to spend time with the 71 team at a breakfast Saturday morning. Awesome to see those guys and how I think after 50 years they're all still together, and some of them still look like they can play at least one or two snaps. So it was fun, and then to come out of there with a win in the fashion that we won was extra special, just to cap a great weekend off.
Let's talk about the game. The Samford defense holds the Citadel to just over 300 total yards. They create 3 turnovers. They keep the vaunted Citadel rushing attack in check for the day. Just a few players I want to mention that had great days. Nathan East, I called his name out a lot, 15 tackles on Saturday. Marcus Cheeks with 2 forced fumbles. I thought Seth Simmer had one of his best games of the year, a key sack in the game. I want to talk about 2 younger players, though, Coach, on defense. I thought really played well Saturday. First of all, Josiah Cotton, a sophomore linebacker from Macon, Georgia, was all over the field with 11 tackles. And, of course, everyone's favorite, a named player, Midnight Stewart, freshman from Daphne, Alabama, had one of the most exciting scoop and scores you'll ever see, and really was a critical play, maybe been the most critical play in the game. 94 yards, takes it to the house. Talk about it.
Well, I agree with you on that particular play, and all the players you mentioned. We played great teams, and of course, East kind of led the way. I think one of our strengths is our linebacking core. Marcus Cheeks does a great job. JoJo, he had a tremendous day as well, and he just seems to be getting better and better as we go. But the turnovers were big, especially the one Midnight had. We're up 28 to I think 28-7 at that particular time. Citadel had a long drive. We forced a fumble, and then Midnight picked it up, and I got on him. He looked like he was tired about 10 yards into the run, picked a few key blocks. They missed a couple tackles, and he lumbered on into the end zone. And it was good because he's a guy that, early in the year didn't get much playing time. And this happens. You sign these good freshmen, and early on they're just not quite ready, or you're not quite sure about putting them in the game. We had to play him against VMI more than we anticipated because of all the injuries we've accrued in the back end. And then this week, boy, really, he just seems to be getting a little better each week. And that bodes well for the future of our defense.
Well, the offense, the story of the day for Saturday was the Samford ground attack. The Bulldogs amassed 252 yards rushing, averaging 7.4 yards per carry. Jay Stanton enjoyed one of his best games of the year, 134 yards and a touchdown. DeMarcus Ware adds 2 touchdowns on the ground as well. Coach, DeMarcus and Jay were thunder and lightning Saturday, weren't they?
They played really well, and you got to give credit to our offensive line. I mean, we were running the inside zone against some pretty nasty looks that you would normally not run it against, but we were just mashing them back. And the backs, they had really good vision, made good cuts. For the first time all year, we consistently made the unblocked player miss, which allowed us to have some longer runs. And it was just one of those days, if you can run it like that, there's no reason to call any other plays. And I was really proud that those guys had the spotlight on them and played well and shown, especially in key moments throughout the course of the game.
They have. Montrell Washington's 68-yard punt return in the second quarter was a thing of beauty. Gave Samford a 2-touchdown lead going into halftime. Coach Montrell continues to defy human ability. What he can do, it's like somebody has a joystick out there. I mean, that was an electric play and really worthy of a sports center, I felt like.
Well, you're telling everybody our age talking about joysticks. Now it's like buttons they push right there. You know, and as far as that goes. But you're exactly right. You know, he's a guy you got to find a way to get the ball in his hands. You get him in open space. He's very elusive. He's a tough runner, and it was a thing of beauty. You know, we had everybody blocked except for the punter and the deep snapper on that particular one. Those were the two unblocked guys, and he knows he's got to beat them. And he made those guys look silly. And he's a character, but he sure is a good player. And you know, we're excited of where he started and where he is now, and got a great opportunity probably to play ball after Samford. But more importantly, you know, he's right there to get his Samford degree at the end of this semester. So he's a guy that I'm awfully proud of, not only on the field but off the field as well.
This weekend, Samford travels to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium on Saturday to take on the Florida Gators for an 11 a.m. kickoff. Now, Coach, these types of games against SEC opponents in this iconic stadium, the Swamp, it gives our players a very unique opportunity. Now, Coach Speak, I know, says, well, it's just another game. But we know to these players, to be able to run out the tunnel in such an iconic stadium, it is more than just another game for them.
Well, I took a double take when you were sitting there going to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, and you know, you don't get that opportunity very much at our level. You know, again, it comes down to preparation and being the very best that you can be each and every week. And you know, we're going to do a great job of preparing this week. I think the big thing is you got to keep it simple. You got to take the fight to the opponent early in the game, and you got to be efficient offensively. You can't give up any negative plays, and then defensively, you can't give up any big plays. And so, you know, it's a game where you know, at the end of the day, they're very difficult games to play in. But you know, we're going to go down there. We're going to enjoy the atmosphere. We're going to enjoy all the things that go with it, and we're going to play to the very best of our abilities. And hopefully, we got a shot there at the end of the game to make some magic happen.
Well, under your tenure, we've played big games in big stadiums and really performed well. We can think of the Florida State game. We played Mississippi State well. We've played in these types of games well. You know you're going to be overmatched a little bit in the trenches. How important is it to just play our game, play fast, get our playmakers in space against a team like Florida?
Yeah, you know, it is difficult. You know, we have played some really, you know, we took Florida State, Mississippi State down to the wire, played Georgia really well for 2.5 quarters, and then the last time out, Auburn jumped on us pretty good, and it wasn't a real good day for us. So again, that's the battle right there in the trenches, and you got to be able to control that line. You got to give the passer a little bit of time to throw the ball. Defensively, you got to eat some blocks up to let our linebackers go make plays. But that's the key, and the SEC is known as a lineman league, and to step it up this notch, our guys are going to really have to bow their necks and play extremely well to give us a chance there late in the ball game.
Samford versus the Florida Gators on Saturday at 11 a.m. You can watch the game on ESPN Plus or SEC Network Plus. Fans, don't forget also that our next home game is our final home game of the year against Furman on November the 20th. You need to get your tickets while they last at SamfordTickets.com. Well, that does it for another edition of the Chris Hatcher Show, presented by Alabama Power.